Two thoughts we'd like to start with. It is the hunter's job to kill an animal instantly with the first shot. We believe the hunter owes it to the animal to accomplish that. If you're not 100% certain, get closer or don't shoot until you are 100% sure. And as said best by our friend Gray Thornton, the essence of hunting is not measured by inches or points, but rather by the spirit of the chase and the noble nature of the game being pursued. You should be proud of the fact that you've taken your valuable time, your hard-earned money to become a better hunter, and thus better prepared for your upcoming hunts. Hunting is a great way to challenge yourself, and yes, it offers many rewards, not the least of which it provides you with the opportunity to spend time in, learn about, and to gain respect for the good Lord's beautiful outdoors and creatures. And of course, there's always the making of new friends and seeing areas of the world most people will never experience. We have seen some amazing things while guiding clients and hunting around the globe ourselves. One of the most upsetting things we see is how some sportsmen behave while hunting or fishing. And here are just a couple of examples. How about the sportsman who laughs at or shrugs off the wounding of an animal, not being upset at all that they just caused one of God's amazing creatures to suffer? And how about that rude behavior with complete disregard for all the folks who work so hard to ensure you're having a great time and keep you safe on your hunt? And folks, we have to be honest and tell you, we see this often from Americans. It is unfair to those in camp, the guests, and the staff. It frankly ruins the whole hunting experience for all those involved. It also gives hunters who already have enough bad press a poor name and tarnishes our reputation. Next, we want to give you some of our thoughts on ways to continue being a good hunting steward. All of this is covered and much more in your SAAM manual. Please refer to it often. We often see communication, or lack of it, as the cause of most issues on any hunt. They can happen before getting there or upon arrival. You will likely have used an agent or even met the outfitter before going. Please be honest with them and tell them your limitations and concerns. Oftentimes, hunters overbook themselves. Know your limitations and book your hunts accordingly, or you're just going to be miserable. Do your research. If you are capable of making a 200-yard shot on a deer, that does not make you capable of hunting a Marco Polo, where an average shot range is 500+ yards under extreme conditions. If you have bad knees and cannot walk more than a half a mile without taking pain pills and a 2-hour rest, please don't go book that elephant hunt without explaining your limitations to the outfitter. An honest outfitter will likely explain that this is not the right hunt for you. And don't book that horseback elk hunt and have zero experience with horses. You will not enjoy that hunt at all. Most problems on a hunt can be prevented by open and honest conversation between the client and the outfitter long before the hunt. In the case where the hunter and guide have never met, honest disclosure at the initial meeting is really crucial. While on your hunt, you'll become a vital part of a team with each member serving a very distinct role. The captain of this team will be your professional hunter or guide, and his roles are many. He will develop the hunt plan for the day, direct stalks, judge trophy potential, move you into position for the shot, and manage the important recovery process. But he has other responsibilities that you may or may not even observe during your hunt. He's a bush mechanic, a gunsmith, a bartender, a logistics manager, a bodyguard, and even a social director. He'll oversee trophy care, settle staff disputes, and play doctor, just to name a few. A helping hand from you will help build the bond that will make your hunt even more enjoyable. Key members of any African safari, extreme weather, or mountain hunts are the tracker, assistants, or the wrangler, and their role will vary based on the type of hunt you're on. On many hunts, their main responsibility will be to help spot game. Their knowledge of the game and ability to spot it at incredible distances or in the heaviest cover will play a major role with the success of your hunt. On dangerous game hunts that require true tracking, for example, buffalo or elephant, their job is to find, read, and follow spoor. When you look back on your hunt, you'll remember watching these masters practicing their ancient art as a high point of your hunting experience. And trust me, on any hunt around the world, these assistant team members are a vital part of your success. They will ensure your camp is set up, your transportation, be it on a horse or vehicle, is ready to go and will perform endless duties if required. Offering to assist them from time to time will pay huge dividends. In many areas, you'll be accompanied by a government or landowner game scout. Their primary responsibility is to observe and ensure that you're obeying the game laws in the area you're hunting. In our experience, you'll find most game scouts to be enjoyable companions who assist in everything from spotting and tracking all the way to recovery of game. Now let's take a look at your role as the hunting client. Your primary responsibility is to stay focused and to make a clean, effective, and humane killing shot when the opportunity presents itself. While you'll not be expected to pitch in on every task, a helping hand and willing attitude will go a long way of ensuring that you're thought of as part of the team, as you should be. PHs, guides, and assistants are human beings who share the normal range of emotions. And while they'll work hard for every client, the little bit of extra effort they will put forth for a really good client can often make the difference on your hunt. A typical day on any hunt usually begins well before first light. The hunting day will be designed around the type of hunt you're on: a safari, a horseback mountain hunt, or even a snowmobile or boat hunt for bears. On a typical safari, spot and stalk hunting is the preferred technique. A safari vehicle will normally be used to access game country. Sometimes game will be spotted at a distance from the vehicle. Other times you'll walk to vantage points and glass for game. On North American or Asian hunts, you normally are hunting specific species trying to get into good positions to spot your quarry. Oftentimes, the ride to the potential hunting area could be several hours of driving, riding, and then walking and hiking. Work hard, it'll pay off. Most clients have primary species they wish to target, but many of our favorite trophies were taken during unexpected chance encounters, and the wise hunter takes advantage of good fortune when it presents itself. By working hard, you most often will create your own luck. So you just arrived in camp, and your guide or PH has been there for weeks and perhaps even months hunting in this area. Let's say you tell him you want a minimum of 350-inch bull elk. A veteran guide will smile and say, "We will sure give it our best over the next 7 days of hunting." But, folks, he is smart enough not to say, "Oh, no problem." So the next morning, there you are, riding out of camp, and up ahead in the meadow stands your 350-inch class bull elk. And it might be tempting for you to say, "Man, this is just day one. Maybe we should pass and wait for something bigger." And you know the rest of the story. You hunt your butt off for the next 6.5 days, and the biggest bull elk you see is about 270 inches. Don't be that hunter that refuses to believe his own good luck on day one. Before you shake hands with your professional hunter or guide when stepping off the airplane, take my word for it. They are fully aware that you want to shoot the biggest trophies. And guess what? So do they. But their experience tells them that not every animal taken on every hunt will be in the gold medal quality or reside in the top 10 of some record book. Some areas are known to produce top quality trophies for certain species, while other species in the same area rarely exceed minimal record book standards. On your hunt is not the place for your tape measure. The best way to alienate your PH or guide is to convince him that no animal taken, no matter the quality of the hunt, the stock, or even the shot, will have value to you unless it achieves certain minimum standards in the record book. Pass when they say pass, shoot when they say shoot, and enjoy the experience you're having. You've come so far to enjoy. And the most important thing you can pack for your hunt doesn't go in your duffel bag or gun case. It's between your ears, and it's a positive attitude. And folks, even the best of hunts are a series of ups and downs. There will be days that you may not even see game or find fresh tracks to follow at all. And then there'll be other days where you'll spot game around every bend of the road. And you'll make some awful shots, and then you'll turn around and make a shot that would make a sniper jealous. Sunburn, flies, cold, rain, Bucking horses and flat tires are all part of the hunt, so accept them as part of the wonderful experience. And folks, I have to tell you, it's good advice to never judge any hunt at any single point during the hunt. That can only be done fairly as the sun sets on the last day. And folks, the subject of tipping can be a really slippery slope, but it's part of the hunting experience. Tipping is a time-honored tradition, and Americans are found to be very generous around the world. It's an important source of income to your team. Your booking agent and your hunting operator can be good sources of information as you budget for tips. They can advise you on average tips of the type of hunt you're going on, and then you can go up or down depending on your level of satisfaction. You'll find the service provided on most hunts will far exceed your expectations, and the tip you leave behind will be well deserved. Every hunt requires a certain level of physical conditioning. Few African safaris require that you be in marathon shape, but your ability to walk comfortably will enhance your safari experience. This is especially true on hunts for elephant and buffalo, where you'll be required to follow tracks for hours. The best exercise you can do prior to your safari is simple walking with your gun or something similar, even a heavy 10-pound pipe. Now, mountain hunting is where physical conditioning comes into play. Leg strength and lung capacity is everything on mountain hunts. In your SAAM manual under Staying SAAM Ready, we have many great ideas to help you prepare for your hunt. Gun safety is the #1 priority on any hunt. Your hunting team knows from experience that the greatest danger they face isn't a grizzly bear, a wounded lion, or a buffalo they may be forced to follow, but it's the rifle in the hands of a careless client. Everyone who's completed a SAAM course is fully aware of the need for safe gun handling. Each client must commit to these principles every moment on any hunt. Remember, muscle discipline is everything. A quick word on packing and equipment for your hunt. Your booking agent and hunting operator will provide you with a suggested list of things you'll need to bring on your hunt. It's been carefully developed over the years, and it's wise to adhere to it. Today's airline weight restrictions are even more reason to travel light, so be careful and resist the urge to overpack. The next 2 bits of hunting stewardship are really ticklish subjects. The first one is firing of backup shots, and the second is follow-up on wounded animals. Let's deal first with this business of backup shots. We hear folks go on hunts and they tell their PH or guide, under no circumstances do I want you to fire at my animal. Folks, we think this is really foolish. A wounded animal is a terrible thing. In today's hunting world, it's going to go on your license. And that may be the only animal of that species you're allowed to hunt. And remember, you've hired a good professional hunter. You've done your research. You've checked your references, and you know that you've hired the right team. He's got a professional hunter's or guide's license that he's studied and worked hard for. He's earned it. You're paying him for his wisdom, you're paying him for his judgment, and you really need to let him use it. And folks, I promise, a good professional hunter or guide absolutely wants you to take your animals. He doesn't want to fire, and unless you tell him to, he's not going to fire unless it's absolutely necessary. And then you need to give him that latitude. We have always said that our ego is not as important as having to follow wounded game, and perhaps lose that animal and possibly get someone killed. When it comes to many animals, such as brown bears and buffaloes, which are so incredibly strong and dangerous when wounded, the chance of a deadly confrontation is always possible. But the reality is, with buffalo, elephant, and even with lion and leopard, the most likely result of a wounded animal isn't a charge, but that the animal will never, ever be seen again. We strongly recommend giving your PH the latitude to use his judgment and fire that backup shot as required. You may follow the track of that downed animal and find out that his shot wasn't necessary at all. And folks, that's just fine. You can talk about it later. But give him that latitude. That's what he's there for. That's his job. He's responsible for the party. He is responsible for the safety of everyone, including you. So if he needs to fire that backup shot, let him do it. The next topic only applies to dangerous game. Dangerous game is sometimes going to have to be followed up. Now, it really doesn't matter whether the animal's dead in the bush or whether he's out there waiting for you. Once that animal goes out of sight with a bullet in him, you have a potentially wounded animal and you've got a recovery job on your hands. And folks, this is really important. Ego has no place when it comes to following wounded game. And in fact, it can get someone killed. Your professional hunter or guide, again, has the license and he has the training. He also has a much better knowledge of the terrain beyond that wall of bush. He's also had a lot of time on the hunt to evaluate you, your shooting, your experience, your safe gun handling. He's got to make a judgment call. He is responsible for the safety of everyone. He alone has to make the decision as to how the follow-up should be conducted. This is totally and completely his call. And trust me, if you do go, you may wish you hadn't. The next topic is also a very ticklish subject, and that is social media. Folks, we live in a different time today. There's a lot of new pressures out there that we did not have to face in the past. And folks can see things that maybe you didn't intend them to see. Be very careful with your trophy photos and be sensitive to other people's emotions. Now look, nobody wants to see a film of cattle being slaughtered in an abattoir. And many people around the world don't want to see pictures of dead animals. This is your hunt. This is your life experience. Keep it to yourself and amongst your family members. And let's be careful what we post and not arm our enemies. There's enough people mad at hunters already. Now we'd like to discuss paying it forward. Hunting is a wonderful way to spend time with your family and loved ones. As we continue to face pressures from non-hunters, it is vital that we pay it forward. Be sure to take a youngster hunting. We have to get young people into the field to share with them and to teach them about our proud hunting heritage. We want to thank you again for attending the SAAM course. For those of you that are embarking on your first or your 25th big game hunt, you are in for a wonderful treat. You're going to have the time of your life, and you're going to come back with memories to last a lifetime. We hope at SAAM we've been able to contribute to the future of your hunting experiences.